Hi everyone, just made an update to Badass B-Bands. Thank you, Josu, for the update that you made for Badass B-Bands. Certainly do appreciate that, mate. This is just a setup for Badass B-Bands. And go ahead and throw in Phoenix Ascending setup as well, in case there's new followers who would like to know how to set up both. Let's say you had created a new chart. Maybe you're wondering how you do that. You come up here, new chart layout. New chart layout is where you would get to here. Of course, you would enter in your ticker symbol up here that you want. All right. Once you're at a new chart layout, first thing you may want to do is come up here to the gear symbol in the top right hand corner. And on the scales and chart settings, make sure all of these are checked. Pause the video, and then in another tab or window, as you follow along with this, pause, play, maybe rewind sometimes. Make sure all of these are checked. Appearance, I'm not going to go through all this on setting up the background, for example, gradient or solid, if gradient, what two colors, and all your scales, text, and whatnot. I have templates, and you're able to save as to create a title for a template. I'm going to use my dark charcoal gradient. All right. And that got my font the way I wanted, all this, everything saved in the template. All right, now I want to add the indicator. Come up here to the top where it says indicators. Bad space ass. I already have it checked as a favorite. It's in one of my favorites, so that if I wanted to click this arrow right here for favorites, you could get to it. But again, let's enter in bad ass. It's right here in the favorites. I'm going to go ahead and click it. We added badass B-Bands. Now let's go ahead and enter in ascending. ASCENDING, ascending. Phoenix Ascending, but use the most recent, 2.311. All right, I'm going to close this. Depending on the color of your background, if you have a white background, you probably do not see the white energy at present. Now, to get to the settings for Phoenix Ascending, the quickest way is to just simply double click it, and you got the settings. Same thing for the Badass B-Bands. You just double click and you see it. Oops, that's the alarm. That's the alarm. You double click it and you see it. All right, first the Phoenix Ascending. I'm going to double click it. Oh, by the way, you can also get to settings by putting your cursor over Phoenix Ascending here and click the gear symbol. Same thing goes for Badass B-Bands up here. Click the gear symbol. If you don't see that, that's probably because you just see a little down arrow that has the number 2 on it. You click it, and now you see them. All right, but I'm going to double click Phoenix Ascending. I'm going to go and reset settings. Okay. All right, when I reset the settings, this is what you should see for Phoenix Ascending. The lower purple, I do not show. Oops. I clicked the wrong thing. That was for Badass B-Bands. All right, the lower purple, -20, I do not show. And the upper purple, positive 120, right here on Phoenix Ascending. I just deleted right here, -20. I don't want to show it. Takes up too much space. And the 120, don't want to show it. Takes up too much space. here. And these, I really mainly just use that for very high time frames in my super macro group and the macro group, sometimes a long-term group as well. Of course, you can hide the level 110 and the level -10 if you want. That's up to you. Uncheck lower band, upper band right here for 80 and 20, because that's for your stochastic RSI. Draw the stochastic RSI. I just added it in there in case some people wanted it. I don't show it. Go back to style. The white energy. Again, if you have a white background, you may want to choose gray, one of the gray colors. And you may want to adjust the opacity. You don't want it real solid. You want to adjust it on down. I like mine, of course, this is personal preference. I kind of like mine about like that right there. And I want a thick line on the border of it. So while the opacity is kind of dim, real ghost-like, I can still see it without covering up my red RSI, green RSI, and blue OSMA very much. My green RSI, I like it a bright green, and it is pretty much a bright green. The pressure dots, I currently have orange by default. I'm going to change them to yellow. That's these yellow dots you see right there. I don't really use them. Someday I may find a use for them. We'll see. Don't change the inputs. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. Oh, by the way, I'm going to double click this again one more time. Don't forget to click this and save as default how you want it. All right, next thing you want to do is let's go to settings for the badass B bands. On style, reset settings. Okay. The background fill right now it's checked for you to see it, but here's what I'm going to do. Also the percent fill. First, let's go to inputs. Let's show the percent. Let's show the fill percentage threshold. All right, so this percentage, that's over here to the far right. 5.4% is the current spread between the white upper and the white lower. My rule in the short-term group that if that spread is not at least 4%, I'm not going to consider wasting my time with a trade there. And I explain in other lessons that I'm creating as to why 4%. Of course, you can adjust that percentage if you're making a trade from the white aqua lower to the white aqua upper. It could be something like that. And same thing here from the white aqua lower to the white aqua upper. Maybe you're wondering, well, how in the world are you going to know if it's going from the white aqua lower to the white aqua upper? That's another educational content. Or vice versa, go down from the white aqua upper to the white aqua lower, or even overextend below the aqua lower, or overextend above the aqua upper, especially when the red RSI and blue SMA go above level 50, or when the red RSI and blue SMA are below level 50, with the green going down. Here was the green going up. But again, you can adjust that percentage right here and show that percentage. This is for the percentage fill. This threshold here, 4%, is reached. It has it highlighted. It has it highlighted there. You can go to style if you want to. The background fill, you can click this, and that covers the aqua 1.618 standard deviation and negative 1.618 standard deviation. I'm going to go and make it aqua for the background, and I can increase the opacity, but let's just barely have it seen it. This is just for me. This is personal preference. You don't have to show this at all. You on the background uh, fill, the background fill right here. You can uncheck it and not show it at all. That's personal preference, up to you. Same thing with the percentage fill. If you don't want those and all you want to know is the percent right here, present day, well, that's perfectly fine too. That's the way I may keep mine most of the time, just to have my chart kind of clean and not too busy. But there may be other times, especially for educational purposes, that I want to show the points at which we had 4% plus spread between the white lower and the white upper B bands. All right. All right, once you got all this done, there's one more thing you want to do. The volume, show the volume, unhide it, show it. All right, and the default will normally look like this. So now you would need to either double click the volume bars or come up here and hit the gear symbol for volume. All right, then you would need to change these colors. I like them matching my candles. So I have a bright green and I have my dark red custom color. You can add a color, create, like if I click this dark red, and that's in my general family of colors. Now, if I click add custom color, I can adjust that however I want it, all in here, but I'm going to cancel that. Go back to that. I want the green and that red there, and I don't want them that dark. I want them to be more opaque. That's if you ever want to look at the volume at any time. Most of the time mine is hidden. Now that you have everything the way that you want it for that first chart, if you have a pro account, you can come up here to this single window, click it, and come down here to 2 windows, because I believe you are allowed 2 windows. I did not want to do that. Let's go back on that. Before I do that, I want to save this chart. Let's save it. All right, now that I got it saved, I'm going to come up here and tell it 2 windows. Why are you not? Oh, okay. I know why it's not doing it. I know why it's not doing it. Because I'm on a different chart here. I know why it's not doing it. So I'm going to back out of that because I don't want to mess up my chart there. But depending on depending on what type of pro account you have, that will determine how many windows and what formation those windows that you want them. That will help you know how many charts you can have and the formation of those charts inside this window. All right, but that's what that's for. All right, I'm going to go and call this quits. I don't think there's any need to go any further. If you don't mind, take a moment and click like. If you're not following, feel free to do so. Certainly would appreciate your support. Want to wish everyone happy trading, and followers, you know the drill. Let's stay awesome.